Hi foodies, we're gonna get started on the salmon right away. So it's been cleaned and pat dried, and I'm just gonna go ahead and mix this up in the bowl. I have Cajun seasoning, paprika, onion powder, and a little black pepper. If your Cajun seasoning has a lot of salt, then you don't really need to add any salt here. But if it's salt free, go ahead and add some salt. All I'm going to be doing is just sprinkling the seasoning all over. Then I'm going to rub it in, press it in, then flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. So this is going to be very flavorful, and you don't have to marinate it overnight. So you can make this the same day if you're trying to, decide what to have for dinner. This is so delicious, and the steps are pretty easy. All right, so just go ahead and season the salmon, and then we'll move on to the next steps. All right, so the salmon is well seasoned. You can let it sit for about 25 minutes if you want to, and then we are gonna cook these up. So I'm using my non-stick pan, and I have some oil in there. This is over medium to high heat. I'm gonna be cooking the salmon for maybe 3 to 4 minutes on each side, and of course that depends on how thick your pieces of salmon are. Once you've cooked the salmon on both sides, then you're just going to remove them from the pan. Later on, we're going to be basting the salmon with some liquid, so don't worry if it's not completely cooked at this point. So I took the salmon out. I didn't clean the pan, just added some butter. And this is over medium heat. We are going to be adding minced fresh garlic. You're going to cook this in the butter until it is slightly golden, so not brown, just slightly golden and very fragrant. Of course, we're going to move on to our honey. You can use more or less honey than I recommend. Of course, remember the ingredients are in the description box below the video. And right here, I'm adding some thick hot sauce and some fresh lemon juice. The hot sauce you're using doesn't have to be super thick. This is just the one that I have right now. Next up is some brown sugar and a little ketchup. Yes, a little ketchup. If you prefer tomato paste or tomato sauce, that's fine, but I am happy whenever I use simply ketchup in this recipe, okay? Then you're going to season to taste with some paprika and Cajun seasoning, the same thing that you put on the fish. Simmer this for about 30 seconds and then put the salmon back in there and just baste the salmon to complete the cooking. Depending on how much you cooked your salmon initially, you might need to baste this for maybe just a minute or two. Just make sure that the salmon is cooked thoroughly, but not overcooked, of course. And that delicious sauce, you are gonna love every bit of it on this salmon. After basting the salmon, go ahead and serve up this deliciousness. It is so scrumptious. That sauce is amazing. I promise you're going to enjoy it. Please let me know how it turns out for you once you try the recipe. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.